Hello and welcome to Grounds Patrol, a podcast for Newgrounds creators. My name is Will Comer, I'm your host, and this is the dirty one, folks. This is the Not Safe for Work episode. Ooh. Dirty, not safe for work warning right off the bat. This is not the episode to show your boss or your parents. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. Although you've probably heard me say stuff like this already, but anyway, it's gonna be a Not Safe for Work art roundtable featuring 3 artists who make dirty art with lots of boobs and butts on the Newgrounds, and I got to talk to them. I had so much fun with the last Not Safe for Work kind of roundtable with Velavari that was supposed to be a madness roundtable that I just went full hog on this one, and we're gonna do a whole Not Safe for Work thing, talk about all of that good juicy stuff. Yeah. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who listened to and reviewed the last episode, the Ben Spurgeon Legacy special. It was, like I said before, really good that we got to do that, I think, especially so close to the 10-year anniversary of his passing. Couple of reviews. James Simo actually reviewed on that and said, "Thanks so much, Will Comer, for having me on. Listening back to it, I want to emphasize how good of an interviewer Will truly is to wrangle my ramblings into a coherent interview. And Ninja Muffin for making my garbage audio and loud background noises into a pleasant episode to listen to." Oh, it was. Did I mention we all love Ninja Muffin? We all do. Other review. CERBSKIES said, "It doesn't feel so progressive when you can't make something funny and offensive because feelings." Okay, context. So last episode we were talking at one point about Pimp's Quest and how it has some themes in it that might be kind of racially questionable today, like the fact that a white guy was doing a black Ebonics voice and being a pimp and stuff like that. And I was kind of on the side of, I mean, we could celebrate what it is for what it was, and maybe, no, it doesn't hold up as well. So CERBSKIES is talking to that. His review says, "When you can lose your job, your livelihood, for a joke or some creation meant in jest, it feels like the very opposite of progress and improvement, in my humble opinion." Now, there's a debate, man. We can talk about that a lot more. I'm still on kind of the side of appreciate what it is back then, but maybe it's not so great today. That's a big conversation to have for, I think, a lot of Newgrounds things is, you know, the kind of sense of humor people used to have. Is it okay to still be doing it? Or is it, if you're doing less offensive stuff nowadays, is it considered censorship? Look, the episode is not about that today, but boy, we could have a talk about that. I actually welcome opinions from either side. Thank you, CERBSKIES, for saying that. I welcome the debate. But not today, because today is the Not Safe for Work roundtable. So we had 3 artists, all who do the dirty work. Yeah. They are Astral, Arzonaut, and Fushark. We had them on at the same time. We got to all talk about different things regarding the community, the kind of art they make, how they get into it, all sorts of stuff. And again, it's super dirty, so don't listen on speakers at work or at church. You've been warned. All right? I will see you on the other side. Have fun. Hi guys, got a quick last-minute announcement before the episode starts proper. Grounds Patrol is now available on YouTube, which is exciting. All of the episodes so far are now on YouTube, and every episode that comes out from now on is going to pop in there and on Newgrounds and your podcast platform all at the same dang time. We got a cool visualizer and everything. Okay, that's it. Wanted to share good news. Enjoy the episode.
I'm Astral 7, and I draw things, allegedly.
I'm Arzonaut. I like to make cartoons, but I draw more porn than that.
And I'm Fushark. I draw boxes. I'm a digital freelance artist.
Who draws boxes? Great.
Many boxes. And wieners. And boobies.
He's got the best boxes.
I don't know about that.
I was wondering about this. How do you guys feel about actually talking about this stuff? Because mostly you guys just... It's an online kind of thing. Like, do you guys usually sit in groups of people and talk about the kind of art you guys make? Or
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I usually duck around it with, like, prose. We don't usually cut straight to it. Like, we have, like, code word.
Nah, it's literally my icebreaker. Literally my icebreaker.
Well, like, what do you say? What's the sentence that you break the ice with?
Well, I try to keep it away, but anytime I end up getting drunk or around friends, I'm always like, "Yeah, man, I draw tits for a living. What do you do?" And that gets the crowd going.
What office do you work at?
Work at my office.
I work inside my fucking little 1x1 room.
See, it always sounds professional until you tell them what it is. But if you say it's my office, like, oh shit, this dude rents out an office.
Yeah.
I get by like staggering the conversation. I just say, oh, I'm an artist, and just hope they stop asking questions.
Nah, I just dropped the bomb.
At this point, it's like, to me, it's like, it doesn't even matter if I draw porn. To me, it's like more so like how far you go. So it's like, I just stop right there. I don't go to like, yeah, I've done furry shit, or I've done gay shit, or traps, or whatever. Like, I think people are at an understanding, but it depends on how far you go.
Yeah,
Food is the stopping point, I think.
that's really interesting, because you two are the complete opposite of me. Like, I actually don't give a fuck. It's always actually really funny, because like I'll start it up and it'll always be like a good example of it is like I'll go to my cousin's parties and he's like a computer software engineer. He has a lot of very well paid friends, so it's always funny like getting into conversations with them, because they're usually talking about owning yachts, buying houses, shit like this. So when it comes around to me, it's just like, oh yeah, so what do you do? It's like, oh yeah, I'm an artist, I work on hentai and all this other shit.
Where's your yacht?
At this point, I can't even get around it. It's just like, that's just the most interesting thing I can think of to talk about when I go to gatherings or shit around like that. It's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, you're literally throwing yourself under the bus. Everyone else feels comfortable talking to you now because you are the asshole making porn.
Everybody knows around you that they can say whatever they want and they're not going to be judged because you're on a lower level than they are.
Pretty much.
I like being in my bottom feeder status.
Yeah, it's cozy here.
Yeah.
When you tell people, how do they react? Do people judge you guys, or do they try to be polite and be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, I guess"?
I've had a lot of people go, "That's fucking sick as hell, man," but they were mainly on substances. And then I would draw something on the wall, and that's how I passed the time.
Oh, that's fun.
Back in high school, I used to draw a bunch of porn on the wall, but my friend's mom got mad at that, so we had to take a lot of it down.
Understandably.
Wait. Messed up the very nice wallpaper.
Dude, it was a fucking basement wall. It was totally up for grabs.
Understandable.
Man, those were some good-as early drawings.
They either like go, oh, that's all right, and I can totally tell they're hiding how disgusted they are, or they just nod. This is the usual response.
I just judge a person's character before I bring it up. If I can tell they're cool, then I bring it up. If not, then I just avoid it. The worst I've had was like at conventions and shit, where anytime you do like some kind of convention or you're trying to set up something or show your stuff in person, there's always going to be the couple who are just like, oh, that's interesting, or just denounce you in public, and you just got to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
No, people normally like, I've never had a bad experience bringing it up, funny enough. Everyone's always like really curious, like, they don't know what hentai is, so I have to explain that, and once they know, they completely open up to me, and they're just like so willing to talk about these things.
Oh my god, I watch that all the time. Finally, someone I can talk to. Yeah,
pretty much.
It's my favorite show.
Hentai is my favorite show.
I think I don't know about you guys, but I think the only people that I just cannot talk to about it is my parents. That's the one thing. I just can't do
that's
that.
interesting. What do you tell your parents that you do?
Oh, I just tell them I fucking either A, graphic design, or B, like, at one point I was just like, yeah, Mom, I give up. I don't do art anymore. I'm just going to do accounting.
So she just stops asking.
Graphic design is always the one.
I just don't want to show my mom the collection of stuff I've done. It's just too embarrassing.
Yeah. Try to hit a nice balance of safe and not safe, so I have something to show.
I'm just gonna keep throwing myself under the fucking bus. Like, I just literally don't give a fuck. Like, my mom walks in, she's liked my like hentai like clips on fucking Instagram, and I'm just like, my mom's the best. Yes.
Wow,
that's amazing.
I'm like, you probably don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, she'll walk into my room and she'll see me working on something, but like, I'll have girls spread on one screen, dicks on another, and like,
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, I just don't care.
dude, she's right or
Dude,
not.
I feel like I'm more embarrassed than my mom would be embarrassed. I just like she's so open about talking to this stuff, and my parents are. They've never been like, super hierarchical or religious or something like that. But it's like, I just don't want to have my parents know. Like, look, my shit's out there. You can look it up. But I don't want my mom to know I drew breaks and getting fucked or something like that. That's not something I need her to know.
Understandable.
Got to be a good Thanksgiving conversation with the family.
One day,
Extended family.
one day it'll probably be that.
You guys have conversations in Thanksgiving? I just go to my room.
You just get your turkey and
Conversation's a
just be
hard
like,
word to say. It's more like bickering,
I just leave.
fighting with the grandparents.
I watched the Macy's parade with my dad and pass out after that. That's pretty much my Thanksgiving.
Macy's is good.
The last one. Huh.
I wanted to actually start off with a question that my girlfriend asked me to ask today. Mm-hmm. She wants to know why everybody draws girls giving boob jobs and loving it so much. Like their face is like, oh my God, this is the best thing. When in reality, girls can't feel that shit at all. And it's like not something they enjoy.
Because 99% of our viewing audience are males.
Mm-hmm.
That's accurate.
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. I don't even like boob jobs that much, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
I've
drawn a boob
I
job.
don't think I've drawn a boob job either, honestly. But
I've done
I can
like one or two, but not that many.
It's just the weirdest, like, hyperbolically porny thing. It's like, this is not something you're going to do. It's not something you're going to have done.
I think all of hentai is hyperbolic. I mean, I think it's just an unspoken rule that we have to, well, most of us, we have to draw the woman just enjoying it so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like
It's not
ahigo
always the
faces.
case. I don't
It's
know.
not always the case. Not always the case. But well, for me, I like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing about that style of art, I think, is just generally all the girl always looks, or the guy always
Or the
looks
guy,
like,
yeah.
oh my God. It's like they're eating the best food in the entire world, and they're just having something super degrading done to them or doing something weird.
Yeah, but I mean, like with anything, like especially like art, like let's like break it down even to animation. Like you exaggerate things to enhance the experience, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
You
we
wanna
do a
have-
girl like giving you a boob job board, like sure you might get some people who are interested in that.
It's
sort of,
funnier. I think it's
role play.
funnier.
Yeah.
Some weird, like, post art, meta art, where the girl's like, I don't like
Like, she's
this.
so over it.
Dude, everything's been done before. I've seen bored boob jobs, entertaining
Yeah.
boob jobs, guy boob
Disgusting
jobs,
boob
whatever.
jobs.
Milk
Guy
boob
boob
job.
jobs.
Oh, yeah,
Now, that's
peck jobs.
something.
Man
There's
boob
something there.
jobs.
Like, now we're all just sitting here imagining
I've
it.
seen it.
I know I am.
New fetish unlocked.
Guys, go to Pornhub and look up male boob job. You won't be disappointed.
That's a contest. Let's do a contest for this. Anybody who is listening to this right now who does not safe for work art, give us your best male boob job scene. And then
Please
tag
do.
Grounds Patrol, please.
Yes.
I would
Please.
happy. I'd be
I wanna
real
see
happy
that.
to see that.
Please do
What do
this.
what do they win?
They win.
Our recognition.
I'll fucking doodle something for them. How about that?
Yeah, do that. And they'll give them a new Discord role. We'll give them like the man boob job king Discord role they'll have for a week.
Boob job
I want that
champion.
fucking role. I'll do that shit.
Very prestigious.
Do I get to enter?
Ninja Muffin is listening in, by the way. He says, send male boob jobs to groundspatrol@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Oh, please. You got a fucking email.
Yeah,
Open
we
up a
do.
new folder on your email that's just like male boob jobs.
Don't draw anything. Just fucking Google it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at this kind of art and I'm wondering how you guys got started. This has got to be, at some point you're drawing, you're learning to draw, and then like there's a fork in the road and you take the, I'm going to draw tits fork in the road. Do you guys remember when that happened for you?
I feel like all of us have a long story for
Yeah.
that, but whoever wants to start.
Yeah, let's go into it. Who wants to start?
I'll start, I guess.
All right.
The fork in the road came in like I want to say like 2012 or something. Like I just like opened my blog on Tumblr. I don't even remember what the fuck I was drawing, but I ran into your boy CERBSKIES, and I was in his live stream
Hell yeah.
streams, and he was talking about, I don't remember if I was in chat or in voice chat, but he was talking about drawing traps, and then I just tried it out, and I was just like, that was it. That was the ball just kept rolling from there, I guess.
You went from drawing different kinds of not safe for work art to drawing trap, or you went from literally drawing as a hobby in general to, oh, you know what? That'd be fun drawing trap people.
Yeah, I think it went from just drawing it generally, and then I was a wholesome Christian boy, and then I met Corey. And then everything
Me too, dude.
changed.
That's
Fucking
a
the
wild
same-
leap to make.
Dude, my leap was like fucking. It was so weird, especially for my group of friends who I like grew up with, because I used to be this really morally upright kid, and I was just like, oh man, this adult stuff, like, I'm above that. I'm a straight edge kid. And then one day, or I don't know how it
Virgin for
happened.
life.
I became yeah, exactly, right. I became a fucking I grew up a little bit and be like, oh man, wow. Let's just say I got a little peach fuzz, and
Cool.
I guess for some fucking reason. Oh, I remember. I met a friend in high school who's like my best friend now, and he showed me this like drawing he did because we did art together, and it was like this girl showing her tits, and I was like, oh wow, that's really nice. And then I met another friend. I'm just gonna say Kazukoto. Look him up. He's a good artist on Newgrounds, and he's the one that actually like taught me how to do digital art and like hentai and stuff. Like before then, I just did traditional, and then he kept convincing me to use a tablet, and then over time, I just like. Because porn is really good for getting good at anatomy. Like, that was my excuse at first.
Okay.
And then I just started to like it more and more, and I just started to delve more. Because, I don't know, if you're drawing right now and you're, well, you know, I'm going to say 18s only, but if you're at that age and you start drawing that shit, it might be coincidental that you mix that up with, you know, what you're into and shit like that while you're discovering that kind of shit. That's what happened to me.
Okay.
I just mixed that up with my art, and then that just became a part of me.
You started drawing it kind of just objectively to see if it was a fun thing to draw, and the more you did, the more you realized, hey, I'm actually into some of this stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
helped discover myself, and I just became a deviant at that point. Now I don't give a fuck. I'm not straight edge at all.
Complete degenerate.
I don't know. I was just inspired by a lot of artists too. You know, like Astral said, SPAZKID and Speedo Sausage and a bunch of others who were already animating, and I always wanted to make cartoons, and their cartoons were the best in my opinion. So that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Nice. Funny enough, yeah, for me, like, I didn't really do any, like, not safe for work art until I caught an episode. I think it was actually the first Shadman episode of SleepyCast, actually, that did it for me.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, listening into that podcast, I was just like, yeah, why not give it a shot? It wasn't really like a thing. It wasn't like I never wanted to do it or thought it was bad. I just never really thought to do it. And then I listened to that podcast. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let me do it. And I just started off doing like really stupid shit like that I thought was funny. Like I did that more what was it called? The Mickey Mouse cartoon that like recently came out, like the shorts that are really well animated. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah.
I did like a hentai scene of that because I thought it was funny, and I just kind of kept doing it after that point. That was really it. Yeah.
I love that. You guys know those Mickey Mouse cartoons? Those very wholesome, nice kids cartoons? Yeah, those are pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, I
Hey,
made
man.
porn of it.
Straw them fucking.
Hey man, Minnie Mouse is hot. And also, what's the duck equivalent's name? She's okay.
Daisy.
Daisy.
Daisy Duck.
Daisy
She's
Duck.
alright.
I think it's Daisy Duck.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Bills, but I can understand the appeal.
No teeth.
No, well, I guess so.
Extendo.
When you put it like that,
Just long range capabilities.
long range.
Yeah, that was about it for me. I don't know.
When you talked about it's a good way to, it's kind of a twistedly good way to learn anatomy. When you guys are doing it, is it like porn that you guys learn from anatomy wise, or are you looking at life models, or how do you get that anatomy down? Because one thing I've noticed looking through is that, yeah, it's hypersexualized, it's way crazy positions all over the place, but it's also like anatomy that's surprisingly good. For every giant pair of tits, there's like a very nicely rendered collarbone, and where does that come in?
It gets fucking stressful. You have to like, because you want like, you get to this perfectionist level where you're just like, man, every fucking body part has to be good. Like for me, feet are always fucking getting me off guard.
Feet, yeah.
Anytime I have to draw feet, I'm just like, fuck, man, I gotta make sure every toe is like this perfect round thing. I don't know. And it's like a really good anatomy practice, and you just look up, for me anyways, I just look up, like, I go to ImageFap or something like that, save a bunch of references and use that. But you just want to make sure it looks nice. So you focus on every detail. And anytime you don't, that's the first thing that catches your eye.
Yeah, you just beat yourself up.
Yeah.
You just start looking at your art and how bad it is, and then you go, what are you, dumb? Can't draw this right? And then you just look up a bunch of shit, and that's how it happens.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
just-
Anytime I look at my old shit, it's just the same shit. Like, Jesus, their foreheads and all this stuff. It's like, ugh.
You just get disgusted with your own
Do you
work.
guys find yourselves, like, do you practice? To learn this, do you do a lot of just, like, life studies and drawing models and stuff before you get into it? Or does the anatomy kind of come naturally?
For me, I guess it comes naturally. I don't really do life studies and stuff. I don't know. Anytime I get an idea, I draw.
Yeah, I study every day before I start. I always do like about an hour warm up hour, 2 hour warm up, doing anatomy study, perspective studies. And what you were asking before, it's a mix of looking at porn and regular like life models. Like it's the thing is like a lot of the times with life models you won't get like a lot of the stuff that you want to see in porn, right? Because they don't focus on that. So you have to find it elsewhere, and it's actually pretty difficult to find books that are like, here's the anatomical reference of a dick and how you break that down into shapes. Like, so there are artists like a really great artist is Doxy. Definitely.
Oh hell yeah, Doxy's really good.
His tutorials are great because he really breaks down the anatomy like hardcore, and he focuses on things that like most people might not. And it's really, really helpful shit.
Yeah, I find myself using a lot of references of other artists a lot of the time.
Yeah, because it's also...
Oh, shit.
That's another thing that Doxy says, which is, like, just because it's, like... what was it? Just because it's correct doesn't mean it's hot. Which goes into the exaggeration thing that I mentioned before. Like, just because something like, looks perfect like a human doesn't mean, like, it is as sexually as appealing as it can be.
That's a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way.
So if people are trying to learn how to do this, do you think the way to go is like look up Doxy, look up those kind of like hybrid between anatomy and porn stuff that gives you...
Look up artists you like and just try and base your stuff... Don't try and copy them, but like try and base your stuff off that and just develop your ideas over time. But also, you know, use human references as well because it's important to study from life.
Yeah.
You can copy other artists, just don't pass it off as your own.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
How many of you guys make money off of commissions?
Me.
All of you?
I do.
I haven't made a cent. I tried opening a commission once, and I was just like, I don't like this. So I didn't even take one.
Well, you said you didn't like it. Was it just the?
Well, I don't know. I just didn't like the process or the asking and stuff like that. And I didn't really get through with any of the ideas that I got asked to do. So it's just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Is it the kind of thing where you're like, you know what, I could make this a job, or it could be a hobby, and as a hobby it's more fun, so just keep it that way?
I don't know. I never really thought about making porn so much my job as I've tried to make animation my job right now.
Okay. How about you guys?
I think it just came naturally to me. I was like, wow, I'm broke, so I should probably do something about that.
Yeah.
Fair. No, I'm a full-time artist. Like, I do nothing but art, so yeah.
That's great. How much of that is not safe for work art versus normal art?
Surprisingly, more of my commissions are safe for work. Surprisingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff? Just OCs of characters and
OCs of characters. I mean, anything that I can get into, graphic design, animation. Like I don't really stop at any point, but like it normally is just illustration. Yeah.
And wait, Fu, you brought this up just a while ago, and I thought to myself to bring it up again, and I forgot about it. But are you serious that you do an hour or 2 hours of anatomical practice before you start, or are you bullshitting?
No.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I wish I did that, man.
You can
that sounded like something that was sarcastic, until you started describing more about what it was.
No,
like, I do it now.
So like, just to give you a breakdown of what it is or what I go through. And you can check my Twitch most of the time when I'm streaming. Like, I actually start with the warm up, which I kind of hate because, like, I know it might be boring for people to watch me just do fucking studies instead of drawing like anything more interesting. But like, people know that I fucking draw boxes. Like, before I do anything else, I always draw boxes in perspective. So I either do like a 2-point or 3-point perspective study where it's just like drawing it by hand, just to like keep familiarizing myself with like how horizon line works and like how things change depending on like the angle of a shot. And then from there I go into gesture drawing / figure drawing, where it starts off maybe like 30-second drawings for like a few minutes, and then it goes into like some more detailed like figure drawing. Once I'm done with that, like, I haven't done this part of it in a while. It was I would actually take like a specific part of like the human body and just draw it like from different angles, and I'd spend time doing that every time before I started, just so I start like learning things more appropriately. Because you can definitely look at other artists and like learn from them by just imitating the things that they do, and you'll pick up those styles and you'll build up that instinct. But then you come to the crossroads of like areas where you might not understand something, and that's where like shit hits the fan, and that's where you need that sort of knowledge to base all your drawings from. It's really important. Like I can't even begin to describe how important it is that you actually study. Like, I mean, everyone can do whatever the fuck they want, but like, it's honestly the best way to improve and the quickest.
Yeah, some good advice.
Dang. That's great. So for the two of you guys that do commissions, how do you find yourself building a customer base? Like, do you go to Discord servers and feel out like how do people find you?
For me, I guess they just find me through Twitter or something. And there's been occasions where I've been in a Discord server and I posted my art just because, and someone's like, "Oh, you can do that? Can you draw me something? I have money." That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, I feel that. Most of my client work has just been like built up over years of like working, so it's just people recommending me. But Twitter is a big one lately, and other Twitch streamers actually have been like a pretty big thing.
Oh, nice.
Well, you mentioned about the Discord hopping. Like, I actually, like, I've been told to do that a few times, but I've never actually tried it, to be honest. But it might be a good idea to be honest.
Yeah. Although it sounds like you got something good going for you, so maybe it's not the only way.
A decent amount of work. We're still struggling here, but you know.
Right. Sure. We're all still struggling out there.
Yeah.
We're all in the boat together.
Yeah. So you say it's more like a long-term, like you are making art, and over time people will find you and they'll get stuff. It's not as much like pushing yourself out there, trying to network.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely 100%. Like, if you think you're going to make money doing commissions by not networking, by not marketing, you are out of your mind.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a schedule of network? Like, do you have like a method of networking that works for you? Is it like I'm going to Hootsuite once a week and schedule out on my tweets, or is it like a...
I've tried stuff like that, but honestly, it's never pulled through. My best thing is just put shit out there and start connections with people, and then just keep those connections going.
I mean, that in itself is basically what you need to do.
I'm usually always working, so I never think about it until it's too late. Like, I should have scheduled a tweet or something.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's definitely hard to like set aside time just to like handle social media like alone, but
yeah,
being consistent about that is what's going to like let's face it, sure, hentai is not exactly, or like porn in general isn't like it's still very taboo, so that like there's still a lot of space for artists to, you know, gain like a following and money, but like you're still competing against thousands of people who are doing the same thing, and if you're not like keeping up with everyone else like on a daily basis, you're not gonna. On
top of that, I don't know if I might be the only one, but it's like we all have a bunch of, or for me, we have a bunch of stuff going on in the background, so a lot of the time we're just like get so caught up in doing all the other shit that we want to do long term wise,
for sure,
that we just like for me, I just space out. I honestly like, I've always considered drawing porn art and stuff like that more so of a hobby from like building up a normal art career, or just like animation shit. Like me right now, and I think Astral too, like we're both working on the One Piece cartoons that we have going on for the collab, and I haven't like posted shit on my Twitter because I'm just trying to get in the mindset to just work on that every day so we can get that done for Ando. And Fu worked on the Dragon Ball collab, so he knows what that's like.
Yeah, PTSD, because that was fucking working on the Dragon Ball Z collab cartoon was literally like every day for 6 months, like just working on that, and it drove me insane. Like I couldn't.
Dude, when I was doing the Smash collab, I was just like fucking. I had to finish. I was still in school at the time, so I had to finish like all of my school shit.
Yeah.
Within a month for the semester, and I just fucking locked myself in after that. I don't even know how I passed, and I swear there were just like 36-hour days, just fucking all-nighters, pushing that shit. I was just like, I gotta get this done. I gotta do it. Best time of my life.
It's no fun if you don't sweat a little.
That's great. The struggle is fun.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard, we actually did a Grounds Patrol episode a while ago with the people who put up the Smash collab, and it's funny because it sounds like Ivan and all of them had the same experience, just on the managerial side of it too. They are staying up all night. They are organizing. They are putting things together.
I think that's just artists in general.
I've met Ivan. That dude works extremely hard.
That dude is a powerhouse. And the funniest thing was, when I asked at the end of that episode, like, Okay, so it sounds like you guys were disorganized in some ways, and there were some ways that you could be better. What do you guys think you're going to do differently for the next one to make it more streamlined? And they said, fucking nothing.
Exactly how broken it
They
is.
like it just the way it is. They like that struggle. They like it being a rush.
The only way
Yeah.
you can do it better is if you like follow a fucking Korean or Japanese model where you're just like working inside of a fucking studio with like no AC and no power, just
Yeah,
sleeping
for 16 hours a day.
there. Yeah,
Those guys
Pass.
work hard. I love them.
yeah, that was a good episode.
Thanks. That was a wild episode. I just basically turned the mic on and let them run. There was a point where I actually like went away and then came back a second later and nobody noticed I was gone.
Nice.
My God.
But I guess more not safe for work art. This is the not safe
No,
for
it's
work
not.
roundtable.
We're all
Of course.
musicians.
No.
Now, when you guys are doing commissions, I love the idea of the weird customer. Do you guys have any stories of customers that were like, they asked for something that you were like, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Share away.
It was a long time ago, but I had this was back in like my Tumblr days, like 2013 or something. Like I had a customer who was particularly into like super hyper stuff, and they could never convince me to like accept their idea, but they tried.
Like what?
Like we're talking hyper levels that like fill up the entire canvas. And I would be like,
You're talking
Damn.
You're talking expansion stuff.
I'm sorry, what's hyper? Please tell
hyper
me.
is just like, the huge dick pictures. The guy has like the fucking 10-foot
yeah.
dick. It's like that, but
Yeah, so inflation.
But
shit.
but
Yeah.
my little case in 2013, it was like way worse. It was like I think it was a she. I don't know, but she wanted like the entire canvas filled, and I was like, I don't know if I could.
Nice, dude. 99% dick, 1% whatever else.
It's like I don't know if I could handle that.
skill.
Whatever else. Yeah.
It's like I was just starting to get a following too. I was like, I don't know if I can scare away all my followers like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You'll just make it a bunch more new ones.
Yeah, I'll just get some new
I
ones.
used to think a lot like that. Like, man, if I draw this, will I scare away my followers? And it's like, over time, I've come to the point where it's like, listen, if I want to draw this stuff and they don't like it, I don't want to keep them around anyway. This is going to go where I take it.
I mean, you're never going
Right.
to satisfy everyone 100% of the time, so you shouldn't even bother,
Yeah. And there's a core fan base there who's going to like whatever you put
Yeah.
out. They're going to
Yeah,
be in it for
exactly.
you, not for the
Those are,
content.
those are the true fans.
Those
Bless
are the
them.
ride or dies.
Those poor bastards, bless them.
Bless them. I have people I think we all have people like that. Just like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
fucking really supportive, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I should regularly apologize to them for all the shit that I do.
That I put them through.
I mean, for Grounds Patrol, it's the same way, too. Everybody at this point who's listening for the show and not based on when they see guests that they like, I'm like, oh, you guys are great.
That's awesome.
Stay around. It's very fun.
I'm one of them. I like
Yeah.
all the episodes, though. They're all cool.
I still haven't listened to a single one, so I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Listen to some
Who's
others.
got the
There's-
time?
You're on the show.
It's a good
before
idea.
You listen to
I'm
it.
surprised that it hasn't been done
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Like, well, I think it's just because it's just the recent surge of Newgrounds revival, and I really think it's all fucking
Yeah.
cool that everything's going on.
Yeah,
all
me
these
too.
people that are participating in the site now, and just like it's really starting a new movement. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Super happy about that.
I think it's reactionary both ways. I think the revival of Newgrounds, I came back from a long hiatus around that time, and seeing how much it was growing and how much the wave was starting to crest is part of what made me want to start doing it, because I was like, I want to be there as it's going. I want to start being there, and I want to be alongside it as it grows, hopefully, and kind of contribute my own way. And I'm sure a lot of adult artists are doing that for the same reason. They're thinking of Newgrounds as kind of a place that's growing, and if they can grow along with it.
It's
Yeah.
also because of Tumblr died.
It's also because Tumblr died, yeah.
After that, dude, when that happened, I was there. I was like there from day one because I was already in Newgrounds. But when I saw Tumblr die, I was like, oh shit! And then, damn, there's a huge influx of like really good not safe for work artists now on from Tumblr to Newgrounds
Yeah.
now. It's
Cam just
crazy.
asked a question that I actually am thinking too. How did you guys find Newgrounds?
That's a long time ago. That was like
Yeah.
3rd or 4th grade.
Yep.
Free computer time, and then I was just like, what's this site with all the games on it? It was,
I'm sure there was a moment for me like that in elementary school, but I probably just fucking forgot it in the deep seat of my mind. If it wasn't a Zone Tan cartoon, it was probably Sleepycast or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'll make an account because they think it's
Yeah.
cool. I think it's cool. so I did.
I think everybody has two moments. The moment when they find Newgrounds as a kid and they like the animations and stuff, and the moment where they find Newgrounds as a creator.
Yeah.
And they want to start putting things out. A lot of times that's a long time between those two things. I found Newgrounds too when I was like 12 or 13. And maybe a couple of years after that I started putting music on, but I'm only doing this now. It's a long time. Sure. What is Newgrounds for you in the pipeline of being an artist online? Is it equal to Twitter and everything?
No.
Or is it
probably a little bit before Twitter now these days because I'm a jaded old man and I hate Twitter.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm not even that old and I don't like Twitter. I just like... Newgrounds for me is like this last resort of the internet. Well, one of the few last resorts of the internet where it's just like old internet. It's just you can do whatever you want. People don't seem to bother, and everyone has like their own space. Twitter is just like so algorithmic and like there's no personality to it. Newgrounds, you have like I don't know. It's nice to see a community that's like built around people that just want the site to do well, and not so much people who just scream at each other all the time.
Yeah.
Although they do that too. Is it the hand-picked nature of it? Like Newgrounds is curated by mods and it's people deciding what goes up as opposed to the algorithm that's just like, here's what you like.
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
I like forums built by the people for the people.
For the people.
Which just sounds like some kind of government.
I personally wouldn't shit on Twitter too hard. Personally, I actually do enjoy Twitter, to be honest. Like, I've met a lot of really fucking cool people that aren't on Newgrounds, because not everyone's on Newgrounds, unfortunately. But I definitely use Twitter as a means to take people to the site, because whenever I post something, it's always like, check out the fucking HD on Newgrounds. Like, that's always a thing. So between the two, like, I kind of look at everything as like, Newgrounds is the central hub where I post like the body of my work, and then I use other platforms to send it that way, essentially.
That's smart. So you have a main base, and you have every other places send you to the main base.
Yeah, I think I do that too.
Yeah, that's accurate. I just use Twitter to complain, and then I post art on Newgrounds.
I use Twitter just to I use Twitter to browse porn in the morning, and then I just wake up, and then I just post the shit that I'm working on.
I always complain on this podcast that I don't quite get Twitter. There's a big community that happens on it and around it that it feels like I have to play catch up to be part of. It feels like I'm reading things that happened a couple days ago and I'm not really part of it.
You got to build Twitter for you, man. You see, some people build Twitter for just their friends, so they just follow their friends. People like me build Twitter perfectly. I set my shit to Japan. I just follow a bunch of hentai artists and Japanese food things, and my mornings are great.
Yep.
Yeah. It's exactly what you want from it. And is it like you follow people you like first so that compels you to tweet more yourself, and then you start to get more networky with people as you do that?
Not really. I just kind of follow things I like, and if I like it or I save it. I don't know. I've never really been a big social media kind of guy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Fair enough.
No. I mean, I use it to follow artists all over the place, different companies, just keep track of like things that are going on. But and I'll try to like talk to people like that I may not have like a good connection with. Like trying to send an email to someone is obviously very difficult, especially if they're like bigger artists, but like if you catch them on a tweet, like sometimes you make a connection, so it's always nice. And I don't know, like I use it to just find new work. Like Arzo said, like I do follow a lot of like hentai artists from Japan, like not just hentai artists, but like anime artists, like a bunch of different artists, because it's just really influential to me seeing that. But like it can also be a terrible fucking thing, right? Because Twitter's, like you were saying, trying to keep up with what's going on, right? Like that's also like an issue when, for me, like, or at least it used to be, I definitely like push myself out of it, but like I used to get really anxious, like seeing all these artists post like work like every day. Like I'm just seeing this stream of artwork.
Dude,
I'm
that's
like, how do people do this? But
I know.
like, realistically, if you hyper-analyze what you're looking at, it's like it's not that everyone's posting like a shit ton of work constantly. It's just like, oh, they might be retweeting things. On top of that, you have so many artists that you're following, you feel like everyone's like there's something going on and you're like falling behind. You have to like take yourself out of that mindset and
I always feel like
chill.
that. It's like you have to, I hate to use this term, but it's like you just gotta, like, for people who it's just part of our lives now, and social media is just that, and you just gotta like monitor what it does to you and just try not to let it take it over your shit.
I turned off notifications on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, completely.
You just got to be mindful of it. You're saying,
Yeah.
like you can use it as long as you're mindful of what you're doing,
Exactly.
and you're not just sitting there wasting time on it. You're doing active things on it when possible.
Like you want to be an artist, you don't
Yeah.
want to be a social media guy. That's what I could try to go by.
I just like Swain's posting about his hot sauce. That's my Twitter content.
Oh god,
Food and
Yeah.
art, man. Food and art. That's what I'm
Swing
like.
food Twitter is the best
Yeah,
thing.
it's the only reason I'm still there. If it wasn't for him, I'd left.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like stuck.
This is a cliche question for every adult artist, but do you guys feel desensitized to things over time as you make it? Is there anything that you still are like, ew, or is it just kind of all the same?
I'm desensitized at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty-
don't think anything
pretty
bothers.
And is that a good thing or is that a bummer? You know?
Nah,
I think
I
it's
like
fine.
it. I think it's fine. The only thing that really still gets to me at this point is just like just probably scat. Like that heavy scat
Oh,
porn is
God.
just, to me it still gets me. Like I'm a
Yeah.
baby. I'm sorry.
Don't
I don't
shame.
think you. No, Phil.
It's just some places I don't go. Let's put it that way.
That's fun.
So no matter how cool you think you are, and then you see a scat picture, you're just reminded.
There's always worse out there.
Like I can understand the appeal, all right, not to piss off the scat lovers out there, but it's not for me, all right.
Yeah, we're sorry, scat lovers.
We're sorry.
Guys, you just lost our biggest scat sponsorship.
I'm
Now we're not
sorry.
gonna get anything.
Listen, if it makes you feel better, I like pissing more than scat. Not on people, but you know, go ahead.
You know, that makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
Yeah,
That really
I
helps.
enjoy
There you
the
go,
ability
guys.
to piss.
Thank you for making us feel comfortable.
Send your favorite scat pictures to
Send your
groundpatrol@gmail.com.
favorite
No,
scat and piss.
no.
Send your favorite male tit jobs. Okay, that's it.
Nick Muffin says, send all scat to arsenat@gmail.com.
Please.
Yeah.
Actually,
We need
don't.
Best
Or on
brothers.
Twitter.
Do, but
Actually, don't do that. Is there a trend nature to the adult art world? Is there like a fashion to it where things go in vogue and out of vogue and in trend and out of trend?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was it.
Bowsette, of course.
Yeah, it's mostly characters, I think.
Anytime there's a new waifu that catches the train or whatever, like the
Right.
new
Well,
hot
characters, even fashion.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like people who go out of the trend. They're catch the eyes, and then they become a new trendsetters as well.
So it's October of 2019. What is the trend right now?
Scary stuff.
Promare.
What?
Promare.
It's the new Trigger
The
film.
Trigger movies.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's
Check
like
it out, guys.
you go see the movie and then you get home and you draw fan art in 20 minutes and you
You
post
draw
it.
fan art of everything.
You just post it immediately.
Okay.
Tell everyone.
If you are able to predict a trend before it happens, does that put you ahead of the curve for adult art? Does that mean does that give you like a early access to a bandwagon?
I actually suck at trends. I don't really do a lot of whole trend stuff. I like to go against the curve. Like right now, I'm working on a fucking Velma Green the Spider Queen picture from Billy and Mandy. If anybody out there knows that shit.
Wow.
I don't
She's
remember
a
what she
fucking-
looks like, but I
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
I don't know the name.
Look at her up. She's cute, and she's also horror themed, so that's what I'm working on. I've never been too big on trends. I think the closest thing was I did a Bowsette pic, but not Bowsette. It was like it was from Paper Mario. It was for the Bowsette contest on Newgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
That was the closest thing.
Is that the kind of like expanded Bowsette universe where they tried to make
Yeah.
girls of all the Mario characters and stuff? That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was good.
It was a fun contest for sure. No, I mean, yeah, it'll definitely give you an edge, but I don't think there's like anyone who fucking predicts it. They just like look out. Like the Bowsette thing was totally just like a freak accident. Like some artist just did like a small comic strip, and then his like Twitter blew up like overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens.
Mm.
I try to avoid it because I don't want to be like pigeonholed into, oh, here's the guy who draws the next popular thing, and then I can't stop drawing
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that. I always like just doing my own thing and just like I'd rather be known for drawing the weird other stuff than just the most current things.
Yeah. At the same time, like I don't think there's anything wrong with doing whatever's in if you genuinely
No, do whatever you
like
want.
it.
Yeah, if you like it, go ahead.
Yeah. Just some people get afraid of it. Like sometimes like, I don't want to draw it because everyone's drawing it and I'm just going to be a bandwagon. It's like, well, if you want to draw it, just
I
fucking
will
do it.
I will say for advice-wise, if anybody's trying to be a not safe for work artist and is trying to get attention, I always say that it's better to go, do things that no one else is doing to get more attention than to do things
Yeah.
that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And also do what you like.
Just do what you like.
That's probably the key of it. You do what you like, and people see that you like what you're doing, and they are there. Like we said, they're there for you. They're not there for the trend
Exactly.
or for the characters they like. Does it get more like extreme over time? Like, do you find that in 10 years, all the things that you guys are drawing nowadays is going to be like chased, and there's going to be all sorts of new, crazy stuff that people are into, or is it kind of the same across the board?
I mean, probably.
I feel like
Yeah.
it will be.
Yeah, things are always changing. I don't know.
10 years, somebody will listen to this and be like, hyper, filling the whole screen? That's nothing.
Yeah, it's
I have
nothing.
that on my,
Dude,
I have that on my wallpaper.
My
It's
dad
like
loves
two-
those.
That's a
My
two-way
house
street.
is a giant dick.
I am both excited and terrified for 10 years from now. I don't know what's going to happen, man. Who
Dude,
knows
I
what I'm going to
remember-
be into?
I remember when traps were like, ooh, you draw
I know,
traps?
right?
Whoa.
10 years ago
Yeah.
doing that shit, and now it's like the most normal thing now. Imagine 10 years from now, dude.
It's like more vanilla than
Wow.
vanilla now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vanilla back then was like fucking oatmeal raisin. Fucking,
Missionary only.
Yeah, you said it.
Only for procreate.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that back then vanilla was a lot more vanilla than it is now. That's what I think.
Right. Everything that you're doing that's pushing the eggs nowadays, the eggs is going to be not the eggs anymore next time, and then people are going to find a new egg.
People are out. Like, I love it all. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the not safe for work art now is nowhere near to what it was back then. Like, nowadays it's like you can get anything you want at high quality too. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not even like talking about 3D either, SFM or stuff like that.
True.
Before we wrap up, are there any things that you guys heard each other say today that you're going to take to heart, or any advice that you guys have just gotten here?
Draw cubes. Gotta remember that.
Cubes.
Yeah, the what Fu said, the hour of study. I gotta try and incorporate that.
The hour of study is bonkers. That's so crazy and good that you do
I
that.
wish I did that.
I'm not fucking perfect, you know. There are days where I fucking say, or I'm like too busy with like, for example, like if I have a piece that I'm coloring, usually I'm just not gonna study like before that. Like I should actually do like a color study before I do that, but I never do.
I've never
Which
looked at a color
always
study.
sucks.
I stink
haven't
at
seen
colors,
one.
man. I always like hold it for like the last thing. I'm just like, today is just gonna be a color day. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I color
Yeah.
it, and then I go, wow, I hate it. Then I change it until I don't hate it. That's how I color
Yeah,
stuff.
I use the fucking hue and saturation tool, or like just keep sliding the bars, and they're like, yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, you do what works for you for sure.
Well, guys, what do you have that you'd like to plug? Is there any project you're working on that we wanted to look up, or the Patreons and Ko-fis?
We got well, I don't know if announcing it makes any difference, but we got the One Piece collab coming up, me and Arzo.
Yeah, check
Ah,
that
yes.
out. We should actually be posting more of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm fucking slacking. I need to get on that shit. But check it out when it comes out, November, whatever, I think, or whenever it comes out.
Sometime in November.
Sometime November.
That's cool.
Hopefully. Don't quote me on that.
Quote him.
Please quote him. Also, I guess we should shill our patrons. So we get paid for this episode.
Yeah, yeah, do it.
Okay, you can find me on patron.com/astral7 with the number 7, not spelled out. You go. Patron.com
All right.
/astral7. You guys got me?
You can find me at Arzanaut on Twitter or Newgrounds, and over there on the Newgrounds you can find all my other pages. There's a Patreon too, but don't feel the need to donate. I don't really do shit out there.
You can just search Foo Shark anywhere, and it'll pop up. Patreon,
Brag.
Twitter, and Instagram. It's a humble brag.
Humble brag.
Pretty
I'm a
popular.
social media guy.
That's amazing.
It's pretty popular.
And finally, the man-on-man boob job trend is starting now. If you're an adult artist, I would suggest you hop on this bandwagon early, because it's going to be taking over Newgrounds.
10 years from now, you don't fucking miss out on this, guys.
No.
Tom Pope is gonna front page all of it.
Hell yeah, please.
A big thank you to those three for joining me, and thank you to you guys for listening. I want to shout out and thank our groundskeepers. They are the elite level patrons who help keep this podcast running. They are Tom Fulp and CERBSKIES. If you want to be a groundskeeper or a patroller, any other patron at any level, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/ Grounds Patrol. A lot of fun stuff you can get from that, including bonus content, surely including some bonus content from this episode that you just heard. I'm sure that's going to be great, and so much more. Guys, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share about this episode? Leave a review on Newgrounds. I might read some of it at the top of the next show. You should know Grounds Patrol is produced and edited by Cam, aka Ninja Muffin. You can follow him on Newgrounds and Twitter at NinjaMuffin99. Thank you to Waterflame for the use of his song Below. You can join our Discord at bit.ly/Grounds Patrol. Follow us on Twitter at Grounds Patrol, and follow me on Newgrounds and Twitter at WillKMR. Our next episode is on November 6th. Until next time, stay creative.